Hey guys, it's Rhema T, and this is the last episode of Today with Rhe. Wow. What a ride it's been, guys. I've interviewed 10 amazing entrepreneurs, and I'm just overwhelmed with joy because I can leave saying that at the end of the season, we've received over 7,500 views on the channel. What? And I received 40 under 40 for my talk show, and it wouldn't be made possible without you guys. These last 10 entrepreneurs are incredible people. I hope that you spend the time, go back and watch their episodes, get to know these entrepreneurs, shop with these entrepreneurs, and really push the local economy here in Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm not gonna hold you guys long because I really want you to tune into this last episode. Again, I want to explicitly say thank you to the entrepreneurs that came on to season 3. Thank you guys for all the views, all the shares, all the likes, comments, all the social media stuff. And then thank you for just supporting me. That's all I really got. This last episode, season finale, is coming to you right now. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Today with Rhe. I'm your host, Rhema T, and we are coming with the tea, literally today. This week I have on Adrienne with Queen Esther Tea, but pause before we start. If you aren't a part of this journey that highlights everyday entrepreneurs, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like button, and notification bell so you'll be aware when new episodes come out. Now, resume. Like I said, we are here with the owner of Queen Esther Tea, and make sure you stick around. You are going to get my raw reaction. It's in the cup, but I have not drank it. I'm not a big tea drinker, so if it's good, it's good. I'm going to be on my Keith Lee later in this episode 10, right? So
hey, I'm here for it. Yes.
So as we open up this interview, Adrienne, tell us a little bit about yourself and why it is that you became an entrepreneur.
Yes, so I became, thank you so much for having me, Rhe. It
You're
is
welcome.
Such an honor. So how I became an entrepreneur was by accident, actually.
Yeah.
I was working for the school system, and of course, pandemic happened, and my side hustle turned into my full-time. So I was just kind of blending teas kind of on my own for myself and for my friends, and I did have a website, but it wasn't really something that I was doing full-time.
Yeah.
I was working for the school system full-time. But when I was no longer working for the school system, then I had to rely on this business.
Yeah.
And what I found is that if I put all of the effort, the energy, and the time that I did into my full-time job, into my side hustle, then it had the potential to really be able to be something big.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it started.
I love that. And if you've been watching this season, you understand that there's been this whole general theme of pivoting. A lot of the entrepreneurs on the show have mentioned that, how they've been at a crossroad and really had to make a decision or pivot into making this full-time or just changing the direction of it. And I love your story so much because whether you believe in God, the universe, Allah, whatever you call him, sometimes he presents you with this opportunity where it's like, okay, you wouldn't have done this by yourself.
1,000%.
So now I need to put you into a position where you have to pivot, and so you're here now.
That's right. And actually, to go even deeper, I even got fired from my job.
Wow. See?
So, and I was devastated. I mean, like the whole, I just didn't know what I was going to do. You put yourself so much into working for somebody else. And when that's kind of snatched away from you, there's a time when where you're kind of like, like the wind is knocked out of you.
Right.
But yeah, being able to pivot, and I'm a mother of 4, so them babies got to eat.
Right.
So I couldn't stay down. I had to find a way to kind of keep hustling.
Right. And not only that, it put you in a position where it's like, oh crap,
Yeah.
this has to work. Like I have no other options. This has to work. And it is working.
It is.
I'm so happy. Tell us a little bit about the name and the background of Queen Esther. Like, how did that come into, like, where did that come from for you?
Yes. Queen Esther Teas. Queen Esther was my grandmother.
Okay.
So I spent a lot of time with my grandmother growing up. She was kind of like my daycare.
Yes.
So
that's how it was.
hung out together, and she didn't treat me like a baby. She kind of treated me like her friend.
I like that.
I always felt like we had a really good, open relationship, and I wanted to honor her in that way. And of course, I do read the Bible, and so Esther in the Bible is such a powerful person, and that story and her story in the Bible also just kind of helps and goes along with my theme and my whole purpose for making the tea.
I love that. I love that. And if you're not familiar with the biblical story of Esther, you read that on your own. But it is a real powerful story of how she even had to pivot into a position where it's like, this has to work.
That's correct.
So it all formulated to who you are and how you devoted yourself into making all of these teas. Like I said, you want to stick around. I want to go ahead and try it now, but I'm waiting. Again, the biggest debate is the coffee versus tea debate. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. I love coffee. Coffee is my best friend, aside from my husband, but like it's very close. You know what I'm saying?
Coffee is how most people start their days.
Yes. So the big debate, and especially being a Southern girl, if it ain't sweet tea, I ain't drinking it. So we're going to pause. We're going to talk about the different kind of blends.
Oh, yes.
So I am aware of different variations of teas. My dad is a big tea drinker. He's a chai lover. So walk us through, for someone that wants to be introduced to teas, how would you slowly like say, okay, this is a beginner tea that's not really like, don't taste like dirt.
That's right.
What would be a good like introductory tea?
Hibiscus.
Okay.
Hibiscus is one of my favorite introductory teas, and it's one of the teas that I bring with me to market the most. Hibiscus tea is one that can be hot and cold. A lot of people don't always like hot tea.
Got it.
And so just like you can have cold brew coffee, you can also have iced tea, and a lot of my herbal teas are versatile. You can have them hot or cold. So hibiscus is almost floral, but it's fruity, tart, and tangy, and it has a beautiful red color too, which changes people's minds from that traditional kind of like brown,
the Earl tea or like the black tea.
That Earl cream with that bergamot, everybody's, if that is your idea of tea, then I can understand why you can be hesitant. But when you are in the herbal world, you find that some of these herbs have such amazing qualities, and if paired with the right thing in the right way, you can get some really good flavors out of it.
Okay, so hibiscus tea. So if you're a person like me that's like, okay, I want to venture past sweet tea, or from our northerners, iced tea, which is disgusting, by the way. Hibiscus. Okay, so you talked about how briefly you market and you start with hibiscus tea. Tell us a little bit of how that looks like for you. And we're here in Wilmington, North Carolina. So when you market, where can people kind of like find you, and what is your best seller, and then what is, I guess, your favorite of your variations? So
the majority of my business I do at farmers markets.
Okay.
So I started out with just a website, and that was okay, but it limited the amount of people that I was necessarily getting in front of. Some people are extremely social media savvy, and I am to an extent.
Right.
But when it comes to bringing in more customers, I felt that was best done face to face for me. So going to these farmers markets, and I do a lot of pop-ups around town as well. So anytime you get an opportunity to do a pop-up, I'm always on top of it, because you never know who you're going to have the opportunity to meet.
Right.
So that's kind of where I do the majority of my business. And from the farmers markets and from those pop-ups, I've actually found myself in now a couple of restaurants around town.
Okay.
And that was really, really fun when people are able to go dine at some of these amazing restaurants downtown or over throughout Wilmington, and to be able to get some Queen Esther teas.
Right.
It is just awesome, because that was my number one question when I would do, where can we get your tea? Where can we get it? Where can we get it? So trying to be in as many restaurants and retail spaces as possible is really kind of the goal and the focus right now.
Yeah, and it goes into with the farmers markets and the pop-ups. I've noticed, you know, I don't know if you're from here, but like Wilmington is small and large at the same time. So I always gesture and tell entrepreneurs, like, it's not always about what you know. That helps to build credibility, but it's about who you know. And when people find that familiar face, and it's like, oh man, I've had that tea, and it's just like, oh man, you should try Queen Esther next time that you want tea, or like, oh man, here's a boutique that's looking for. And the networking behind entrepreneurship is such a foundation that it's phenomenal to hear that from pop-ups or from the farmers market, it's gotten you into restaurants.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And for the restaurants that I'm not in yet, it's so funny that my customers will intentionally ask for Queen Esther teas at the restaurant. I'm like, do you carry Queen Esther teas? I go to McDonald's. Do you carry Queen Esther teas?
That's brand loyalty. So that will lead me in. So if they're going to McDonald's asking for Queen Esther tea, that means that it must have some good taste to it. I'm not going to hold y'all. I'm going to try it now. So but first, tell us about the blends.
So my most popular blend is the Immunity. Now this isn't the Immunity today. The Immunity is a hibiscus and elderberry blend, and it really helps to boost your immune system. And that's one of the teas that you'll probably find the most often of mine. But this is my second most popular, and I believe it's because of what it does. This tea is called anti-anxiety.
I love it.
And a lot of my teas, you can pretty much tell from the name what it does. So this is a green tea blend. So green tea has all of the wonderful benefits of antioxidants, free radical blockers, but it has lavender in it. So part of the tea experience is also smelling it, you know? A lot of people might skip over that and rush, you know, especially coffee. Coffee, you're just drinking it back.
I'm not smelling it.
It smells like coffee. Drink it. But part of tea drinking is actually the smell. So the nose of this is going to give you the lavender straight off top. And we all know that lavender has aromatherapy properties that tell the brain to calm down. Right? And then we're going to come with a little bit of St. John's wort. St. John's wort is a natural antidepressant. So it's going to boost your mood, and it's been used for centuries. It's funny. The reason why I started this is because over-the-counter meds were not effective at treating my digestive system issues. And so I Googled, what did people use before medicine and herbs. So herbs are really, really powerful, and they really are effective depending on what they are and what your body is needing at the time. So then we also have a little bit of ashwagandha. Oh my gosh. Have you heard of ashwagandha? Yes, and I've taken ashwagandha before. And I sat on my couch just like this. Yes. My husband was like, are you okay? And I was like, so powerful. Herbs can be powerful, right? And that's something completely over the counter that you can go into the store and buy. So I like the benefits of how it's an adaptogen. So what it does, it kind of helps your body respond to stress. Because of course we can't control stress. We can't control all the factors that cause us stress, but we can control how we react to them. So this is going to help with that. And then a little bit of lemon balm. I love lemon balm. It also helps for de-stressing. But yeah, I'm not going to let you, I'm going to let you get right to it. I'm not going to hold you back anymore. I'm going to refresh my cup. Because you love it. I do. Okay, so you said to smell it first. I'm going to get on my Keithley now. Okay, smells amazing. Thank you.
I'm a bit candle burner. Like, I love candles.
Yes.
So take this as a compliment. Like, I would burn this in my house. Okay, so we're smelling it. Okay, I'm nervous, y'all. All right. Okay, it's actually good. And I promise, I'm not saying that because she's sitting across from me. Like, it really is. It isn't the perception of like the dark, like Earl or like dirt. It actually has like a nice taste to it. Okay.
Yes. And see, what you were saying about the ashwagandha, you're not getting that much in this.
Right.
So that is a wonderful thing about the anti-anxiety.
Yeah.
When you compare it to anti-anxiety medication, a lot of times you are the test dummy at first because they don't know what to start you out on or how much to start you out with. So it takes a while for them to sometimes get your dose right, and sometimes people, it's a really tough journey.
Yeah.
And for people who want a little bit more control over that, I feel that the anti-anxiety gives you that, because as you can see here, you can have just a little cup and be like, oh, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Or you can be like, oof, I'm gonna need a big cup. I'm gonna need a gallon. I'm gonna need, depending on the situation.
Yeah.
And then there might be a day where you're like, I'm having an amazing day. I don't need my anti-anxiety, and that's kind of just puts the control back, in your hands, because the anti-anxiety medicine that they give you, they want you to take it every day, no matter if you're having a good day, a bad day, a happy day, a sad day. They're like, you take this medicine every day. And some people, it doesn't necessarily line up with how they want to live their life.
Absolutely, yeah. So we talked about, or you talked about how you're a mom of 4. I'm a mom also. Do you give your kids this?
My kids now ask for tea the minute they feel anything.
Really?
They know that it's a go-to. I have, out of 4, I have that one who hates tea. Because there's always that one child who will go against
the grain.
And he hates tea. But even when he starts to feel under the weather, he'll ask for it. He'll get it down. He'll get it in him. So the kids really, really like the tea. Sometimes you'll see them with me at market because it's a family affair.
I love that.
You're going to help me set this tin up. You're going to help me sell this tea.
Right.
So yes. And what I found, even with small babies, there are teas, most of my teas are caffeine free or have just a very small amount of caffeine in them, but the immunity is caffeine free, full of vitamin C and that elderberry, and a lot of times kids are the ones who can really benefit from it the most. But having them to sit down, you may be able to sit them down and do it cute like this. So if you haven't tried to do a tea party, even for our young men, they appreciate a nice cup of tea as well. So, but even say they're not into it, or they're babies, they can't. I freeze it with a popsicle.
I'm following you. I'm following you.
So, and for those who prefer a sweeter tea, I put honey in this. So whatever you need to you can put lemon in it. Don't be afraid to jazz up your tea the way that you like it. There's always kind of some room for making it your own.
Yeah. Yeah, and you said something briefly of like having like a tea party, which you previously had an event, like an actual tea party for people. Talk to us a little bit about that, and are there more to come in the future?
For sure. So the tea party I hosted one back in May at the Coca-Cola Bottle Works building, which is a building downtown here in Wilmington. So huge warehouse space. I was super intimidated about filling this place up, but I had so many people asking me, are you ever going to do tea parties? And I was so focused on the blends that I really hadn't thought about it. But I was like, well, there's a space available. Yeah. People are asking me. Let's just give it a whirl. And I ended up having an amazing turnout. People came with their hats and their gloves. We had scones. We had cucumber sandwiches. And we were just able to fellowship and speak and just have a great time. And it was amazing. Yeah. So, of course, there will be another one.
Great.
We are planning it right now.
Okay. And if someone wants more information or about the tea party, about you in general, where can they find you? Like your social medias and stuff.
Yes. My website is queenesterteas.com. And all of my social medias are linked there too. I'm very active on social media. It has some to do with tea, but some is about the backstory of being a business owner and a mom. So I'm pretty transparent, and I do share all of that. But my website is the best place to get all the tea. On Queen Esther Teas.
I like that. I have two more questions for you, and one of them is, what can the community do to help Adrienne?
Wow. Keep doing what you're doing. Just keep showing up. I have been just blown away by the support in this community. And their loyalty also to the brand as well. When I started this, I didn't even know what a brand was. I mean, I knew what a brand was from I need name brand things at the store. But as far as cultivating, creating, maintaining a brand, I wasn't quite sure I knew how to do that. But the people in this community, they would come up to my booth and be like, "Oh my gosh, we love your brand so much." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." So even if you don't have all of that, I just love the support. And so all I ask is that you just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep showing up to markets. Just keep, requesting Queen Esther Teas at places that don't have it yet. And that's been just my joy. That's been more than enough.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that answer. And the last question is, what advice would you give to someone that's looking to be an entrepreneur?
Just know that when you decide to become a business owner, that even if it doesn't go the exact way that you envisioned it will go, as long as you continue to work at it and you don't give up, eventually it is going to be something that you learn. If you don't even do anything but learn so much from, it's going to give back to you so much. So as I was saying before, the time that I was dedicating to working for somebody else, when I dedicated that time to my business and myself, is when I saw the most growth. And I challenge you to do the same and see what happens.
And that's all the tea we got. So I want to thank Adrienne again for coming on this week's episode of Today with Rhe. The tea, again, 10 in my Keith Lee voice, 10. So make sure that you go to her website, follow her on social media. And if you're here locally in Wilmington, North Carolina, make sure you go up to the next market or pop-up event that she is at. But above all, make sure that you go out and support a local business. I'm Rhema T. Bye.